What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark, McTheMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and I'm still going through Black Mirror episodes. So this is Black Mirror Season 3, Episode 5. Giving you my thoughts on this. It does have audio description on Netflix. Click like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we will see what we can do about Black Mirror Men Against Fire. I believe that's the name of the episode. I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, this is an episode where once you realize what it's saying, the message is really disturbing. At first you're like, okay, is this like Call of Duty? Is this Black Mirror's version of, and then you're like, oh, no, this is Black Mirror does genocide. Okay. We're going into the heavy topics now. I don't mean to laugh at genocide, but Black Mirror has kind of dallied around with some things, and not all of them have been like as big as this. And it's funny to think about how at the beginning of this, you're just going to watch it if you've never seen it before and be like, well, this is the future of combat. This is futuristic soldiers. We've seen sort of this kind of thing before. What's so unique about this? You're like, this is like Call of Duty, Modern Warfare or Black Ops or whatever franchise was in what was the one in the future where you could like jump around and boost and stuff. Anyway, yeah, I know I'm blind, but I used to not be, and I used to play video games. So, yeah, they have like drones and they can fly them over their targets, and it lets them, they have an implant that allows them to see what their drone sees, so they can see the facility that they're going in to see. And the implant is supposed to be able to give them, I guess, like a boost or whatever. So these soldiers, we focus on one guy named Stripe, who's played by Malachi something. I forgot his name. I'm sorry. No, the performance is here, not the point. The point of the film is to get you to think about genocide and the future of it and how technology could make genocide a really easy thing. And they do something really simple here that I didn't pick up on right away, because until you see what they are, you're like, okay, wait, hold on, what? So, they talk about roaches, and I literally thought we had like this was going to be about how like roaches had been like genetically modified and they were about to fight like 400-pound roaches, you know, like these giant animals, like these giant cockroaches, like somehow our radiation or something was growing cockroaches, and in the future we were going to have giant, you ever notice how sometimes bugs seem like they're bigger than they ever really need to be? They're sort of like prehistorically big nowadays, and you're like, are we feeding you the wrong chemicals? Thought that was going to be it. It's not it. So this is a recap so I can spoil whatever I want. They go into this house. There's a guy there who's like hiding the roaches. And eventually they find him in the room, and they look like vampires. Like they just kind of like make noises and kind of look like they're scary monsters. So the soldiers start shooting and killing them, and they attack back. And this one guy, our main guy Stripe, he gets flashed. One of them has like a light, and he gets flashed with it, and it starts messing with his implant, and he starts seeing things and having these like sort of like little migraines. But basically the implant gives him, I mean, he's almost fully controlled by the army. It's so much so that they choose sort of even what he dreams. His dreams and stuff are controlled by, as he will end up getting sort of like a therapy session where his like therapist recommends a decent sleep for him, like a good sleep. So I think they basically prescribe like a wet dream for him, essentially. It suggests that there's always like a woman and she's on a bed and she's wearing like lingerie. So he gets that. But when he goes back out in the field later on, he starts seeing what look like people that are trying to escape, and his friends are shooting at people, and he doesn't understand why they're shooting at these just like regular people. And so he has to fight his own troops, and what he ends up finding out is that basically that we, as a populace, we decided that there were a certain group that were undesirables. We referred to them as roaches, and in order to make it easier to kill them, because people had a hard time. They talk about this thing. This one guy talks about how, like, in World War I and II, that only like 10% of the soldiers ever pulled the trigger, and I'm like, that feels like a really low percentage. Yeah, I'm not sure that's real, but if it is, that's shockingly low. Like, a whole bunch of people were out there apparently on the and just not firing their guns, and is what he's suggesting. He's like, well, because they saw people, and it would have been more effective. So what they did is they implanted this chip. They got a whole bunch of people. He finds out that he agreed to it, to have his, like, he wouldn't even remember the fact that he agreed to it. It's one of the, like, severance things. So he kind of gets severed, and he becomes this soldier who, like, he agreed to be a killing machine. So he used to be racist, and now, even as he's trying to wake up, he's like, no, I would never do that. And they show him his old self, and his old self is like, yeah, I'll do that. So it's very trippy for him, but he also now remembers all of the humans that he's killed, thinking that they were these, like, weird vampire things. It's genocide is what it is. I mean, they're literally, I mean, roaches were something that Jews were called in World War II. It was something that Hitler used to call. If you've ever seen, like, a World War II movie, it's slang. I mean, they're really not hiding it. It's just sometimes with Black Mirror, you think it's going to be like, the thing is like, oh, futuristic soldiers, cool. Maybe we're fighting big bugs. And I legitimately thought, and then when we started fighting, like, these vampire things, I was like, well, that's weird, but I don't know how we got vampires into Black Mirror. But we did have sort of like another horror episode earlier this year with the VR episode in season 3 that leaned more into traditional horror, with the, like, large spiders and stuff. That I didn't really care for that episode, because I thought that episode should have gone more in a Black Mirror. But this goes in a Black Mirror way that I didn't even expect. So this is the future of genocide. Look at that. We aren't we proud of ourselves? So yeah, I don't know. Somebody commented and told me, like, what sort of, like, the 2, like, most iconic Black Mirror episodes were, and this is not one of them. I feel like it should be. I feel like we should talk more about this episode. That's kind of part of the problem with, especially nowadays. I've been doing a lot of, like, so does it hold up, and would I do it now? Does it hold up? I don't know. We do have a whole bunch of brown people in concentration camps here in America. I really don't know. Does it hold up? Of course it does. I mean, like, if you could flip a switch and suddenly make everybody see those people as, like, not human, like, literally not human, not just, like, from the racist perspective, but an actual, like, not human view, then you would think that the government was rounding up vampires or zombies or whatever, right? And you'd be like, oh, thank God we got the zombies out of here. And you'd be like, when do we have a zombie apocalypse? Like, but yeah, they need to be able to control your brain in order to do that. So maybe these brain chips that keep getting pushed upon us are probably not the best thing in the world to do, since they can control what you think and see that way. So instead of seeing these people just as regular humans, which they are, but they're probably from a specific, now this one doesn't give a specific sort of heritage, lineage, ethnicity, anything like that. Even the audio description didn't tell me what, like, skin color or anything like that was, because I don't think that's the point, because it could be anybody at this point in the future. Like, it could happen to anybody. It's just whoever is at the bottom at the time that we need them to be, and it's kind of chilling thinking, you know, I'm a Florida film critic, and uh, I'm aware that there's an alligator Alcatraz thing down there where we have a whole bunch of brown people trapped in the Everglades. So yes, I would say this episode is incredibly relevant and a hop, skip, and a jump away from where we are right now. So the ability to paint those people, because they're trying to do it with words right now. They're trying to convince everybody that those people are all criminals, even though everybody keeps saying they're not. Like, all the news is like, no, most of those people don't even have criminal infractions. You just picked them up because they're brown. Like, you just looked at brown people. And there are plenty of other sort of brown, Latino. I can't even say Latino. I keep using the term brown as like a broad spectrum because we're also picking up indigenous people. There was reports of an Italian citizen that was being detained at Alligator Alcatraz. So we're really just looking. We don't really know that our ICE is being propelled by racism. So yeah, if they could use a device like this to flip it and make it easier, then they wouldn't have to tell people, oh, these are all like the worst of the worst. They're all MS-13. Like, MS-13 is, could you imagine if all these people are MS-13? How big of a fucking gang that is? It's like, what, like Taylor Swift's army? Like, they're not all. Anyway, I mean, there apparently are more people in MS-13 than there are in like the Dakotas, like both of them. So talk about recruitment for your gang. Yes, it's incredibly relevant. And would I do it? No, God, no. No, I don't want a brain implant. I don't want a brain implant. I think about that too a lot with like eyes and like sight, and like, well, what if we get robot eyes? And I'm like, but how would that work? You know, because we need to be real careful, because as soon as I put code in me, then it's hackable, and I don't want my vision to be hacked. So it depends on what it is that's being put in there. And yeah, so it's fun when it's a wearable and you can put it on and it sees for you, like the glasses, like the Meta Ray-Bans and stuff like that. But no, to be permanently attached like that to something that somebody else could control, that's weird and scary. So no, absolutely would not do that. And I'm against everything. Obviously, you picked that up. This is a heavily politically threaded recap of this episode, but that's what this episode is. This episode is Black Mirror talking about the future of genocide and where it could go from there, that how technology can be used in a way that we would not think to necessarily use it, but other people might, the wrong people might. And that's the point. So I love this episode. I at first I wrote it off as being something that was simple, and then it became really complex, and I love that about it. And I'm giving Black Mirror season 3 episode 5, Men Against Fire, Men with Fire, Men Against Fire. What was it? I don't remember. Look at it today. Yeah, this redeemed season 3 for me. It asks a very tough topic and hard issue. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys on the other side.